Hey everyone, it's Brandon Evans. I'm finally set up tonight to live stream the moon for everyone. Usually takes me it took me about an hour and a half this time around to get everything going. The other day I had to switch out my from my ZWO focuser to my Celestron focuser because the ZWO focusers are just way too slow for me, especially with the huge focus range of the um, Celestron Edge HD Schmidt Cassegrain telescopes. I don't have that kind of patience. I wanted to zoom through the focusing range. Uh, so I'm using my Canon R8 camera, full frame, to bring you this amazing view of the moon. So I'm going to capture some video tonight of the moon. It's mostly full tonight, I think. I guess you could call that full. So I'm currently using Backyard EOS to control the R8. I highly recommend this program because you can connect your telescope, your focuser, your filter wheel. You can dither all that stuff. I did not. I had my um, Celestron CJX mount connected, but it does some weird stuff. Like I push the button for it to move, and it just decides I'm just gonna keep going instead of doing pulse movements. Super annoying. So I don't really know too many of the features of the moon, just the name. I don't know the names really. The only name I really know is this crater right here because it's my favorite crater on the moon. Mostly just because, like, to me, it kind of looks like the bottom side of a watermelon. But really, what it is a crater left over from a meteor or something that hit the moon and left this huge crater here. Let me see if I can. Let's. Oh, okay, I always forget I have to double click to lock that in. So as you can see it over here, sort of. You can. Oh, there we go. That's better. You can see kind of that there's some ejecta rays. That's what these lines are here. So basically, when the meteorite hits, it'll boom, smash into the surface. And since the surface of the moon is mostly fine dust particles, you get like, the main crater, and then it kind of splashes. It creates kind of an outer rim of the crater, but then you get these ejecta rays from the outward, I guess, splashing of the debris, and then it creates kind of these lines as a result of that. Pretty cool. I need to get used to these. I guess that'll work. I think I need to maybe work on the focus a little bit. The moon, oddly enough, is kind of hard to focus on, especially at this kind of focal length of 2,350 millimeters. I have the Edge HD 9.25 inch. And I don't have the reducer on it just because usually with that much focal length and with the full frame camera, it just does not look as, big in the frame. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to get this back in. I should probably work on the backlash of my mount so it doesn't float away. See, it's kind of hard to. Come on. It's hard to tell with the backlash, like whether you're going the correct way. So that's kind of annoying. I do believe it's somewhere around here. I should probably learn more about the lunar surface, but I think that astronauts landed around here somewhere, if I recall correctly. I'm super excited for future missions to the moon from NASA because they're wanting to go to I believe it's the South Pole of the moon. I think that's depending on which way the moon is kind of rotated right now, but there's parts of the moon and craters on the South Pole of the moon that literally have never seen the light of day. And they think that there's frozen water in the bottom of those craters that could not necessarily, well, I guess if we have a kind of a moon base, we could melt down some of that water for resources and or break it apart into its components of hydrogen and oxygen for fuel and water, that kind of thing. Yeah. Also, I got a lovely idea of using an all-sky camera. I should have focused the darn thing during the day. Basically just the ASI 120 MC with the all-sky lens on it, I guess you could call it, to see kind of down the, where my scope is pointed. I wish I had a better way because I got the idea from, I think this handle is Astro Fritz, where I can see like my actual telescope. So I need to see if I can point it down somehow. So it's kind of more of a visual of like what I'm actually seeing. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. If I make the moon less bright, you really cannot see anything. So nothing really cool in my opinion. I don't know if I did like auto, if it would. It just kind of makes it a disgusting mess. I don't know what that stuff is over there. I think that's just light pollution, maybe. Or from the moon. Sorry. That. Oh, you know what? Duh. I'm an idiot. All right. So let's do that. Because I think I see. Does that look right to you? Yeah, there we go. Oh. Okay. I kind of forgot that I have it upside down. Basically, so there we go. Nice. I have it upside down because I didn't want the USB 3.0 basically like hitting the scope and whatever. So I'm gonna see if I can flip this. Wow, that's kind of funny. It actually kind of looks like the sun right now. Wow, I did a pretty good job of. I totally guessed on the focus just based on. I guess I thought that was a star. That's funny. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay, definitely looks like daylight. I think I'm just going to turn off the auto so it's more consistent. That's kind of funny. Doesn't that look like the sun? I'm going to flip this. How do I flip it? Oh, gosh. And hello. How do I flip the image? Oh my god, I feel so dumb right now. Is it the... Oh, dumb. Gosh, I'm dumb. Sun color. That's funny. I usually use this setting when I'm doing pictures of the sun. I'll do the sun color because sometimes you get better contrast visually of it. Gosh dang it, how do I flip the image? Any of you talking to me? Of course not. You know what? Let's get some music going here. How about some lo-fi? Oh shoot, that's loud. Okay. Cool. Let's see if there's anyone in the chat. All right. Text my wife, see if she wants to watch. Alright, I really need to do a better job with this. How do I? That was a sweet idea. I like this. So I can see what the heck is going on with my scope. I guess I kind of forgot to introduce myself. I'm, like I said, Brandon Evans. I'm from Central Iowa. I enjoy doing astrophotography, whether it be the sun, the moon, the oh, I must have a few people watching. The moon, the planets. I haven't done the planets in a while because it's really hard to get the my flanger pointer and my scope really get the alignment correct, so I'm not searching for it for 2 hours. Real quick, I need to probably change the battery in my camera. And I do deep sky objects. I do galaxies, which I've technically only done one. I do nebulas or nebulae rather, with my smaller, my refractor William Optics telescope. So I've yet to do Orion because I'm too much of a wimp to actually be outside and set up because my fingers do not function if it's too cold out. So there's that. So I've done like the Rosette Nebula. I've done, I think the Hercules cluster, the globular cluster. That's always fun to do. Let's check my live here. Okay. If people are watching, could you send a chat? I just want to make sure I have everything set up correctly. I've done this in a while. I used to use OBS, but for some reason my camera just will not come up on it, so I'm using Restream. And I think it's great because you can do graphics and backgrounds and all sorts of other things. The picture you see behind me, I took this picture of the moon last year, I think. So, yeah. I wonder if I can get... post my live share actually I'm gonna do I have anyone watching? Anyone? Who is that? Who is watching? Someone on Facebook? Is that what that is? Anyone? Is it one comment being viewed? Why am I not seeing the... Tammy, Alyssa, I cannot see your comments. I don't know if it's because it's... Maybe it's because it's private. Is it privacy? Friend, not public. I think it's because of that. Save. Ah, there we go. Yep, I figured. Oh, technology. Tammy, even though we are both great at technology, sometimes it just doesn't do what we want it to do. Sweet. Okay. Alright. And after all that, I'm sure my camera is probably going to die. Let's see. Yep, my battery's gonna go. But let's see if I can get this image flipped. Oh my gosh, I didn't know how to do this. This is really embarrassing. Why can't I figure this out? Oh, there we go. Vertical? No. Both. Nope. Does it look right? There's no way the moon's over there already, right? 4 o'clock. I think it's flipped. Yeah, okay. Auto white melons. Okay. Cool. Alright, so I think this is south here. This is a neighbor's house, and then this is east over here, and then west is over here. So you can see some stars, the full moon, so super bright. But this is really cool. Wow, that's awesome. So I actually just have the camera hooked up to one of the rails on my telescope. I actually have it hooked up to the binocular holder, which is kind of weird, but I like this because I can see everything that's going on. So I am going to go out. Probably. What would you guys rather see? You know what? I'll just do it. Why does it do that? It's kind of weird. Kind of like that to be brighter. No? Holy cow. Alright, I'll let that kind of figure out. So you guys can either see me doing my thing. I think I can close this. I thought I could. Alright, I'm gonna change it. Whoa. Alright, I think we're just gonna leave it like that. don't know why it's so finicky. Alright, I'm gonna go out and change the battery in my camera. I will leave you guys with the view of the moon. I will be right back. All right, back at it. Got the battery switched out. Let me gotta reconnect it. Yeah. Disconnect. Did it freeze? I don't know why. Of course. This program does not like I disconnect the camera. All right. Forgot to take off my hat there. Sorry. All right. I'm gonna save you guys from me trying to figure out my. There. Please hold. I'm gonna disable my. Oh, never mind. Just damn. I gotta figure out my program here. Okay. We are back in business. Okay. So I gotta connect the camera. You guys will see all this stuff I have to go through. Hopefully come on. Camera not found. Alright, guess I gotta go back out there. Hold on. Alright, so I went out and I turned the camera off and back on. Rehooked it up. Not found. Okay. Well, guess you guys are going to have to take the computer with me. Okay, joys of remotely controlling a computer. That's awesome. Alright, so let's go back to frame and focus. I gotta figure out my settings. So I currently have a stop down filter basically to make it darker. Since the moon is so bright, sometimes, especially when it's a full moon, I mean, you really have to stop down the brightness so it's not so blinding. So let's get the telescope back. I didn't polar align, which is why the moon is kind of drifting here. Okay, that's good. Oh, wrong way. And the fun part is always trying to get it, trying to figure out which button I need to push, because obviously it goes, it's usually like flipped of how you would think it would go. Yeah, so here's the moon. So I'm gonna take video. That's kind of the whole point of doing this live. Yeah, okay, so let's get to it. So what I'm going to do is planetary. Obviously the moon is not a planet, but with astrophotography, when you're taking a picture of the moon or the planets, basically it's best to take video, because then with that video we can take or get thousands of pictures from that video, instead of taking individual ones, because obviously the moon moves pretty quick across the screen. And then from those videos, or from those images from the video, I will stack connect my focus there. I will stack all the images, which will basically allow, so when I process that, it'll pull out all the best pictures, basically from this view here, and to create more of an image that looks like the background that I have. So I'm actually kind of impressed with my polar alignment, because it's not drifting as bad as I thought, and I kind of just guess at my polar alignment. And I'm sure you guys don't know what polar alignment is, because that's what I'm for. So I have to point my mount, not necessarily my telescope, my mount, towards the north. So I'll kind of explain that while I'm getting my settings here. Basically to allow me to track whatever I have my telescope pointed at. So the north celestial pole, so like the North Star, which is not the brightest star in the sky, by the way. It's actually quite faint. I think it's like 200, like the 200th brightest star in the sky. It's not that bright, but directly north, then the North Celestial Pole is very close to that, within like a thumb. Like, so if you hold your thumb out, in front of you, The moon, it typically covers the moon, right? So, like, one width away from that, from the North Star, is the North Celestial Pole, which is basically the point that the Earth rotates around. So I got to get my telescope lined up with that, and then once I have that dialed in, whatever my telescope was pointed at, it will just stay within the frame, like the moon is right now, or the stars, or whatever else I'm taking a picture of. Because obviously, if you're taking long exposures, which I usually do, upwards of 3-5 minutes, the stars will trail and you get a nice little line across instead of pinpoint stars. I will show that sometime. Alright, so I think that's probably good focus here. Like I said, it can be kind of hard to focus on the moon sometimes. So let's do daylight. Yeah, that looks better. ISO 1200. That looks good, right? Pretty satisfying. Can someone comment? Somebody, anybody? All right. What was that? Also wondering if you can guys hear the background music, maybe. Holy cow, it was really bright. That's really annoying. Alright, whatever. So let's go back to that. And then, sorry, I apologize. This is actually not a workflow I've done before. Let's call it moon, because that's what it is. Let's do I'm trying to do an image though. I mean a video. So let's do AVI. Computer for plans, use the in camera. It's video replacement. Okay. Image cam. Move. One. That. Okay. So let's see what. I have this going to ASI cap. Okay, good. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. Daylight. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna get the. Nope, wrong way. See. Alright, so let's Word. once the moon settles. Okay, let's do this. Oh. Yes, jeez. There's always something. There is always something, and it's so annoying. Okay, so it's recording the video. I assume that means the frames. I guess we'll see. I told it 500. Done. Okay. Yeah, so back to full frame. Right, why did it do this? Let's zoom right. Okay. Oh. That's not what I want. Yeah, I don't like that. Alright. Yeah, so I usually don't like doing the moon when it's full, just because you don't really get to see the shadows of the craters, which really gives you more perspective of how deep they actually are. I don't know any numbers, but I just think it looks so much cooler when you have. So when there's the shadow part of the moon, the line between the light part and the dark part is actually called the terminator, which I think is super cool. Obviously for obvious reasons with the movie. So I'm super excited to finally get some moon pictures with my R8 camera and my amazing telescope. Because most people just have like a long lens on their camera, but I obviously love doing this stuff, so I like to. Okay, background music. Thank you, Natasha. Yeah, if only my grandpa could see me now. He used to do news articles in the Muscatine Journal called Star Stuff, which is actually kind of funny because Dylan O'Donnell, one of the astrophotographers in Australia, actually calls his channel Star Stuff, so it's kind of funny to hear that every time. And he always said, "Keep looking up." My grandpa did. So I try to remind myself to say that at the end of every live or whatever I do, kind of in his honor. If he could see me now, taking pictures and having all this technology, I think he'd be quite amazed at it. He actually had a bigger telescope than me. He had a 10-inch Meade SCT, and he just had his on was it on a fork mount? I feel like it was. But he'd usually just put it up on his front deck and get it set up and look at planets and the moon, and he'd let us look through the eyepiece. No camera, just eyepieces, which I was always kind of confused. Now that I know what I know of why he put it on his front deck, because decks tend to have a lot of vibration, so I don't know if he had like suppression pads under the tripod legs. would have made way more sense being in the backyard, especially since he had a busy road in the front, which same story here. Busy road, and as you guys can see from my view here, why is it not doing it correctly? I have streetlights and I have all sorts of things going on. So, kind of crazy. So I keep telling myself that I'm going to send. Why does it keep doing that? That is so annoying. I just wanted to be able to see what's going on with my telescope. I don't know if it's because the internet is kind of weak. Wi-Fi signal is kind of weak in the backyard, and it just takes a bit for the camera to respond. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's supposed to be clear all night. So I don't know if I want to maybe go to a different object. Maybe we can see if we can get something different, other than just the moon. This is really slow to respond. Like, why is it darkening and then get? Why is it doing that? There's no way. And that's. It literally looks like it's like noon outside. I've had a couple of times, obviously you guys can see my bird feeder out here. There's been a couple of times out in the dark, I've had a bird think it needs like a midnight snack and it scares the heck out of me. It's kind of funny. Oh, so now one's gonna do that? Oh, it's because I have it on seconds. What the heck? Oh my gosh. No wonder. It's like trying to take like 1,000-second exposures. That's no bueno. It doesn't work. See, it did it again. Okay. I think it's because I'm doing auto. So let's get the... Let's jack the gain way up. That's good enough, right? Yeah, I think so. Alright, so someday, obviously when the sun isn't, or the sun, when the moon isn't full, when I'm actually doing a deep sky object, there's a way to have the settings, on one of these programs to basically be able to catch, like, meteorites. So like anytime it sees a meteor flash across the sky, to take an image of that. So I think that'd be really cool to be able to catch that. The night is green. Somewhat this. Yeah, jeez. This is really frustrating how slow this is. This is behaving. If somebody could recommend like a Wi-Fi booster, that would be amazing. Oh, is that? Oh, screen. The position and max resolution. Where's grayscale? That's fun. Alright, turn it back to color. I don't think. Did I actually have? Oh, that's interesting. So ADC tuning, that is used for planetary imaging, and it basically, so like this kind of tells you based on like any atmospheric distortion, like how the red, the green, and the blue color channels are coming through. So like there's like this little device that you can have on the end of your camera that basically tells you like how to line up the channels, because the light coming from space down to the camera sensor, sometimes the colors get like misaligned, kind of like if kind of like needing glasses, like how light comes into your eyeball at the wrong point, it can look weird. So it kind of does the same thing to allow the corrective optics to line up the color channels so everything looks good. Because obviously the light is coming from billions of miles away, and through lots of several miles of atmosphere. So I'm gonna take that off. I've never actually fully understood until now, like what that is trying to do. That's kind of funny. Let's see, take that off there. Yeah, really wish I could make this smaller. I don't know what to. Oh, here. Is that? Jeez, so frustrating. I really want to just. Yeah, that looks better. It's kind of distracting. Okay, so let's go back to the here. What do you think? Should we go to a different target here, or do you guys want me to maybe go? Yeah, we can see about going to a different target. That would be kind of fun, right? Right? Yeah. Not looking forward to going out and disassembling everything. Super fun. My telescope mount weighs about 45 pounds, so carrying that over to the car is not fun by any means. I always think this crater here, here, I always think it looks like one of those seashell shaped soap things. And it cracks me up every time I see it. Oh, so I guess one thing I could tell you guys about the moon is it's fake. I'm just kidding. It's real. So like these darker areas, these are, how do I want to explain it? Basically left over from like lava flows from however many billions of years ago when the moon formed. So basically like lava filled these areas, which is why they're darker, and they kind of like leveled out. So just kind of think of it as like the moon being excavated, and it just made it like super smooth. Yeah, so then the rest of the parts obviously have been bombarded by, meteors over the years. There was a period when the Earth was still kind of forming. They call it the late bombardment period, which is like when there's still a lot of debris in the solar system from the planets or whatever being formed. There's a few theories about how the moon was formed, and I tend to believe, or I guess the one that makes most sense to me, is that a larger body in the solar system, I think it was like maybe a fifth of the size of the Earth, kind of hit the top part of the Earth, and basically spewed out all sorts of material from the moon or from the Earth out into space, and gravity from the Earth kind of just was, started to form the moon. And then obviously the moon had its own gravity at that point and made itself a sphere, which that is why planets and suns and whatnot are shaped like a sphere, because gravity makes them that way. Because obviously gravity is pulling from all sides, so that's why everything is round, whether people believe it or not. Yeah. So even on a micro scale, micro meaning like my backyard, dirt, mud, water, whatever always flows downhill. So any, bumps, low spots, whatever, eventually fill from sediment. So gravity is always playing a role. Yeah. So that's how the moon was formed. So I was watching a documentary, and one of the reasons that they know that that's kind of probably how this happened, they have found material on the moon that suspiciously is about the same composition as rocky material on the Earth. So not a coincidence there. And also the theory of material being shot out into space from the collision, they did multiple computer simulations of at the angle. So you can see you have the Earth here, and you have the other object coming in and hitting, and based on how the object hit the Earth, they did calculations and simulations of where on the Earth the impact would have to be in order for a satellite moon to to form and be able to rotate and revolve around the Earth, to be able to keep it and then still allow it to orbit us. So pretty interesting how gravity works and how everything kind of comes together. The same thing kind of happens out in space as well. It kind of reminds me of like cold welding, when like two materials that are kind of the same, like steel or whatever, cold welding, like if you rub them together enough, eventually they kind of like join together molecularly. That's a fun word to say. So like I think it's, what is it, Phobos? One of those weird asteroids, comets, whatever, asteroids, where it's literally like two pieces of rock stuck together, and then over time just kind of like they collided and they just kind of stuck together from gravity and just being locked together. I'd imagine eventually with enough heating from the sun, as it passes through, it'll just become a ball, I would think. How long have we been live here? An hour and 15 minutes? I'll get better at these the more I do them. Obviously, it takes practice. And, okay, well, no one's watching. Okay, so I think I'm going to potentially go to something else here. Let's see what is around. Let's go to Spica, maybe? I don't want to go to anything too far because I don't want I'm kind of afraid to do it. The moon hasn't hit the meridian yet. We should be fine. Let's go to Spica. I'm kind of afraid here, to be honest. God help my telescope. Did you guys see it move? Did it move? I really need a separate screen, which I have, but I don't feel like doing it. Alright, so let's go to frame and focus. Gonna have to jack up the ISO settings. Let's do what, 3200 ISO maybe? Is that a star? Appears to be. Let's do like 2 seconds. Maybe 6400 or something. Oh, you know what? I forgot that I have that darkening thing in there. Filter. How do I get rid of that? I don't want that thing. Oh, well, maybe I do. Let's go to start. Let's do that. Copies. No, not that. Alright, let's do 5x. Wow. There we go. Alright. Where's the zoom box at? Is that it? Is that what it is? Zoom box. Where the heck is it? Oh, shoot. You know what, though? I need to change my settings to no. Configure mount. I need to set it to sidereal. You know what? I'm going to do the background. Alright, so I'm updating the backlash so it doesn't have that weird going back and then going forth thing. Okay, that should be better. Alright, cool. Let's go back to here. Alright, so let's get this centered. And that's not it. Here we go. There we go. Nope, one more time. Sorry. I'm only a little bit OCD. Okay. So let's look at that. Let's look at getting this focus a little bit better. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Well, I guess I could do. You know what? I'm gonna put it. Let's do. You know what? No. Not. Is that it? No. Okay. That's a star, right? Yeah. See, I keep forgetting that I have that mask on there. You know what? I think I'm gonna do... No. Never mind. Okay. Seriously, how do I get that focusing thing back on there? Or the zoom box, I mean. Is this it? Okay. No! Stop. Just stay right there. That's so frustrating. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys. Maybe my... You just stay there? Is that even a star? Come on. It's supposed to be a donut. Anyway, that's kind of the trouble with stars. They tend to do weird things. Okay, but seriously, where is the... Is that why it's not? Okay, yeah. Just... That really makes me mad. You know what? I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm gonna go to my other program. I'm gonna get out of here. And I'm gonna do... go to Nina. Nina. camera. There. No camera. Where's EOS? Connect. And then focuser. CPWI focuser. Connect. Okay, good. I didn't have to do a stupid calibration. Mount. Connectamundo. Sidereal. Set tracking rate. Right, guider. I guess I could use the. Maybe I could. I don't know. Might work, right? It's connected. I'm curious. There we go. HD2. What camera? Do you know what camera? I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I think it's because it's probably fighting with ZWO. ASI cap. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to let's connect the weather. So let's do. Okay, let's connect that. Filter camera focuser. Okay. Sky Atlas. Imaging. Oh, I have a lot of work to do before I do this remotely. Let's do. Sure. I guess technically I don't need this. image. Let's do like a 2-second exposure. I think that's a star, right? Should be. All right, let's do. Oh. Gotta admit, this music is kind of creepy. If you ask me. Should we? You know what? Let's try and auto focus. Let's get rid of that. Let's see what happens. So what's... Oh, there we go. So there's... collimation's pretty good. So collimation is basically... like, so this is the objective plate of my telescope, and this is the center obstruction. So basically, like, if the center obstruction were like over here, that would mean that my telescope is out of collimation, meaning like the point of light isn't hitting in like the right spot to direct all the light to the camera sensor. So I'd have to make some adjustments on the secondary mirror. So like here is like the moon, here's my telescope. As I'm having that, or try to have you guys follow like my mouse movements, to where the light goes from here to there, back to the front to the secondary mirror, and then to the back. So it looks like maybe there's not enough of a the step size is either too low or something else. So let's see if we can get the let's do settings. I don't know. Equipment. Focuser. let's disconnect it. And then, okay, whatever. Oh, yeah, okay. Nah, yeah. So let's go into CPWA. And then let's do it's really cold in here. Let's see, what am I wanting to do? Oh, focuser. Control panel. I can't remember. Oh, settings. More settings. How do I set the backlash? I would think that. Okay, so alright, so we're good. So the moon hasn't had the meridian yet, so we won't need to do a meridian flip, which I'm kind of afraid to do because I want stuff to get kind of mixed up here. Focus. How do I do the settings? I don't know. I thought. That's really frustrating. Oh man, I just shuddered a little bit there. You know what? I'm gonna turn my heater on because I am freezing. How focus depth size? Oh, 500. Oh shoot, backlash. Okay, so let's try that again. Start autofocus. I gotta get this figured out. You guys are doing this with me so I can figure out all of my kinks and problems with okay, so it's doing something. So a lot of times when the focuser is doing stuff, it tends to shift the image, which is kind of a issue with oh. Am I doing that? Kind of an issue with SCTs where the mirror kind of shifts a little bit when you change the focus. I think it's kind of doing it, right? No. What the heck? So you're supposed to get a V curve here. So basically, like, the focuser goes in or out, and then it finds, it gets it super small, and then it goes out again, and then kind of the lowest. And the lowest point is usually like the the best focus. So basically, like, at the point where the star is the smallest on the screen, which is like the HFR, which I can't remember what the R stands for, but it's like half flex something. I can't remember. So let's go back to options, and then step size. Let's do 1,000. Let's call it 1,000, and then it's kind of nice if we have all this help text. Alright. Autofocus exposure time 6 seconds. Holy crap. Exposure per point, backlash, compensation method. Now let's do 50. I think the most is like 100 for these. Chuck, if you ever watch this, buddy, if you could help me figure out how to get this to work, that would be amazing. All right, let's try this again. And it's going to do its thing. Maybe. Okay. 6 seconds. Moving the focus to different position, settling. 4, 5, 6. It's hard to see, but it's right here. You kind of have to have good eyes and know what you're looking for. Why isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. But again, I still have that filter in there. You want to just stop. Just stop. Jeez, hello. I'm gonna check the binning and see if so anytime I check my telescope settings, I go to Dylan O'Donnell's site to check to see if my binning is correct, to see if the image scale is what it's supposed to be. Let's see, Celestron 925, choose camera, Canon R8. No. Let's do Southern Blue. Slight oversampling. So let's do bin 2. Yeah, binning. Two. And then imaging. Or no, camera. Imaging. Camera. I guess, is it options? Imaging. Binning. Can I even set the binning on I don't think so. Camera. It's 6, isn't it? That is 6. No, I think they rounded up. Native. Yeah. That's not right, but I'm not going to change it. I thought I could change the binning. Imaging. Image options. Alright. Imaging. Kind of thought it would be here. I thought you could set the binning, but maybe not. Alright. Alright, so let's start the autofocus again. It ended up so bright. There we go. Jeez, Lou. I definitely need to get this figured out. Okay, so it's... Come on. No difference? How is that even possible? How? Ugh. This is so dumb. Okay. So maybe I just need to do like... I mean... do I have versatile move control? Um... Equipment. Mount. Let's... Where the hell... Where do I have the mount control at? I don't really care. Camera. Focus. Mount. Guiders. Where the heck is telescope control? Oh, did I not maybe I didn't install it. Telescope control. Scope control. Here we go. Install. No, I don't want to restart. Whatever. Imaging. Here, let's just do CPWI. Slow controls. Very slow. Oh, I didn't do live view. Alright, so maybe for the autofocus, I need to do like, okay, so 500 steps is not very much. Maybe we need to do like 2500. Do autofocus here. Anybody still with me? If not, I'm going to stop. Alright, I'm going to try to get this figured out on my own. I'm going to end this stream. It's been, oh, look at that, 2 hours. Alright, good night from Iowa. I'll see you guys later, and I'll get my image of the moon processed and post that on Instagram, Facebook, what's that other Instagram platform? You know, I can't remember what it's called. What is it called? It is called Threads. There you go. Jeez. Yeah, so I'll try to do a better job of letting you guys know when I'm gonna go live. But seemingly you guys got on without my help. So thanks to everyone that joined. I will see you guys later. Oh, I just reminded myself, keep looking up. Bye, everyone.